We'll kick things off today talking about the largest story in real estate so far in 2025, and that is last month's announcement that Rocket Mortgage would be taking over real estate broker Redfin, paired with this past week's announcement that they would also be acquiring mortgage servicer Mr. Cooper. Now, longtime listeners of the program might remember episode number 22. We discussed Rocket's program of if you hire one of our partner agents and then ultimately go through us for your financing, by combining the two, we're going to give you a reduction in your closing costs, ultimately a form of a kickback by combining the two. So this is not Rocket's first attempt into kind of cornering the real estate market, and by no stretch are they the only ones doing it. Zillow, you might remember a few years ago, dipped their toes into house flipping. Ultimately, that program went up in flames. They shuttered it. However, Zillow Mortgage, which you may or may not be familiar with, is actually very profitable. So multiple companies are trying to get into multiple layers within the real estate transaction. This is by far and away the largest attempt to do so. Who are the players involved here? Well, Rocket Mortgage is, depending on the month, either number one or number two in the entire country in terms of residential mortgage origination. It's them, United Wholesale Mortgage are 1 and 2, and there's a huge gap between 1, 2, and 3. So they are a huge player in terms of people that are purchasing for residential properties, also refinances. They are a massive player. So that's the acquirer. And who are the companies being acquired? Well, we have Redfin, which is going to be bigger in kind of the West Coast and some of the larger metro markets, but they are a real estate brokerage firm, more on the discount side of things. So people would go through them because A, they have a very shiny platform, very user-friendly. Their agents are typically going to be more affordable. I believe they actually mostly work on flat rates. So it's something that's been growing. I looked it up. The closest areas around here is they do have an office based out of Rochester, and they do have one down towards New York City. We don't have any exposure to them here locally, but essentially Redfin, while they do have different services in terms of they do some title work for closings. They do have a very small mortgage lending business as well. However, realistically, what's their value? Well, people go on, and when they're searching for a home, they're either going on to Zillow or they're going on to like Realtor.com or Redfin. So they're great for searching for a property. They are a real estate brokerage, so you're hiring their agents. Mr. Cooper is the very interesting layer to this. So Mr. Cooper is a mortgage servicer. Now, a mortgage servicer is essentially when you have questions about your mortgage. So you need to know how much interest you paid last year and you lost your document, or you need to, hey, I thought I was paying extra towards principal. It looks like it got applied towards late fees, whatever. If you have a question about your mortgage, you call your mortgage servicer, and mortgage servicers get paid by handling those transactions. So whoever owns the mortgage, the holder of the mortgage, has to hire a servicer to handle all the paperwork and things like that. So that's Mr. Cooper. And Mr. Cooper is the largest mortgage servicer in the entire country. So what what Rocket Mortgage is acquiring here is they say, okay, we at Rocket Mortgage are fantastic at mortgages, and we think we've expanded that to a great degree. How do we get even bigger? How do we get into more layers of the funnel? Well, if we get into the real estate brokerage side of things, and then we can also get into the servicing side of things, this acquisition of Mr. Cooper would actually triple the size of Rocket's servicing. So if you look at the real estate transaction as kind of a stool with multiple legs, ideally after these purchases were to go through, each leg of the stool would be able to support the others. So if someone is searching for homes on Redfin and they say, hey, great, we can pair you with an agent, but at the same time, why don't we get you pre-qualified through Rocket Mortgage? Boom. Now we've paired two of the legs together. If you happen to be considering refinancing your home, and typically when we're thinking of, gosh, I need to get some new financing, I want to extend my term, I want to get some money out, who's the first call you're going to make? Well, it's probably overwhelmingly going to be who your existing lender is. So if they can get you on, okay, Rocket is servicing us through Mr. Cooper, a question from Mr. Cooper could then get funneled all the way to a real estate, a mortgage lender at Rocket. So we have different legs of the stool. And then obviously, the fees that are generated by Mr. Cooper for the servicing are also going to be an income stream as well. So ultimately, what Rocket is looking to do here is they want to get their hands in as many layers of a real estate purchase as they possibly can. This is the future of what real estate purchases are going to look like. It's going to be very siloed. It's going to be very much, you start with whoever your real estate agent is also going to have some relationship to who your mortgage lender is, going to have some relationship to maybe who your attorney is, who's going to do your title work. It's all going to be very much intertwined. And ideally, in a perfect world, that should be very cost effective for consumers, because we've talked about before, CAC, right? Customer acquisition cost. If we can get you in one layer or one avenue of the funnel, and we can put you through all our different other entities, suddenly our customer acquisition cost is going down, and then we can pass those savings along to our clients. So it makes all the sense in the world. Again, this is the direction that real estate transactions are going to be going. Technology is just way too good and way too easy for it not to be the case. So who's ultimately going to be the winner? Is it going to be Rocket? Well, we don't know. It could be Rocket. It could be Zillow. It could be a startup that we haven't even heard of yet. But ultimately, when you think of, what real estate transactions are going to look like 5-10 years in the future, it's very much going to be one large company handling all the bits and pieces of it.